Welcome back. The month of April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and we are continuing the conversation here on In Focus Kentucky. And joining me now in the studio to discuss more details on this particular topic is Kentucky State Senator Rick Girdler, and also Amanda Underwood with Boyle County Middle School, and also Carly Durham, who is an 8th grader at Boyle County Middle School. Thank you all for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
And we'll start with you, Senator Girdler. Let's first start talking about how you first found out that there was a need for child abuse education in Kentucky schools.
Well, of course, I've got 9 grandchildren myself, and then I raised 3 kids. And I've been involved with kids over the years, and I always know there's a need for as child abuse itself, and just being involved in their lives and their friends' lives would make me more aware of what was needed.
And share with us how you got connected with Boyle County Middle Schools and Mrs. Underwood, and then also the students over there.
Actually, Miss Underwood contacted my office in Frankfort, and my legislative assistant, Kathy, alerted me to it, and we set up a time for me to go over there. They were having bills. They were going to write about 6 bills, and wanted me to go and listen to their bills and see what they had. And so, and I've become to know Mike LaFavors real well. Mr. LaFavors, superintendent of schools. He's helped me through all these pensions and the things with the school system, and that's the reason I called Mr. LaFavors, and we went to Miss Underwood's class.
And Ms. Underwood, talk about that class that you've got several students that we'll talk with, including Carly today. But there was a lot of discussion on this particular topic of child abuse prevention and how there should be some additional legislation around that here in Kentucky. How did you first come up with this idea and kind of bring all the partners involved?
Well, first, it was not my idea. It is completely the creation of my students. I'm very proud of them for what they've come up with. The club, Y Club, is a club associated with YMCA, and they work to give students a voice, to let their voices be heard, and to find a way to improve their communities and to improve global matters as well. And this particular project that they were working on, all of the students in this class composed bills for the state of Kentucky. They researched and found a need that they felt could benefit the Commonwealth. They researched other states to see how they dealt with those situations, and then they wrote legislation. They presented them all, and Mr. Girdler, Senator Girdler, was kind enough to come and listen to all of my students present their legislation. And this is the one that came across as being the most meaningful to take on to Congress to try to have passed into law. So after the girls and the one young man who were involved in writing this legislation, after they had it researched and written and they had presented it, the more they discussed it, the more we realized there is very much a need for this. Very much, Kentucky is one of the states that does not have child abuse education in their curriculum. So they are very passionate about this. The authors of this bill are very passionate about it, these young people, and they want to see this happen for all of the youth across Kentucky.
And Carly, so we'll talk with you. You're one of 5 students that were part of helping draft the actual wording that went into this resolution. And for viewers, it's Senate Bill 68, and it was heard in the Senate chambers. It turned into a resolution. It's in committee, or it was in committee during this past session. We'll talk more about that particular legislation more in detail, but share with us about the process of coming up with the words and the planning of this. How was it for you and those other students?
Well, we really have a passion for this because many of us involved with this resolution really have strong connections with our friends who had been abused, and we really want to help them with their situation and help many more who have been in that situation.
And has it been just a big learning process for you to be able to take in all this information, all the research that is involved, but also it's a very serious topic, obviously. How has that process been?
Yeah, so it's a lot to take in. You have to research all these problems that are going on in Kentucky, and you have to really focus on one problem, which me personally, I just want to help fix all the problems, but I really had to choose one, and that really stuck out to me with child abuse.
And we were also hearing that you're the president of the Y Club, so you have been very involved with kind of being a leader. So how has that process been for you?
It's been really encouraging. I've been able to expand my leadership opportunities. I've been able to actually go at KYA. I was a chair, so I actually got to lead meetings with other students all across Kentucky.
Well, Carla, we appreciate you joining us and sharing some of your feedback on this entire process, and also Amanda and Senator Girdler. And we'll continue the conversation with a few other Boyle County Middle School students who also were involved with this process of drafting legislation. You'll hear from them coming up next after a check of your Weather on the Ones forecast.
I just think it's like really cool because especially since we all kind of know people who have been abused, so it's a really big deal that we get to help their situations, and yeah, the fact that we're so young just makes it so much better.